Hello and welcome. I'm Mr. C, and I want to talk to you about lunch duty. That's right. Oh, I know you love lunch duty. If you've ever been in a school cafeteria, probably where you want to live. It's so peaceful, so amazing. I know you love it. So let's go over some of the things that we're going to be doing as far as expectations for someone who's supervising in a lunchroom or in a cafeteria. First and foremost, there's always a line for getting food, so make sure that for me, I have a few basic expectations for how we act in a line. Safe bodies. We're not pushing, poking, pulling, jumping, running, smashing, nothing. Right? Safe bodies. Right? For me, that's kind of the positive reminder for kids. Hey, we have safe bodies. I need safe bodies. That means no running too. Okay, don't forget, no run. We're not running when we're in line. And second, be polite. Please and thank yous are nice, but if you can't do please and thank you, at least be polite, be nice, right? Be pleasant. Don't be rude, right? I frame it positively by saying be polite. When we're in line, we have safe bodies and we're polite when we're asking for something or when we're trying to get something from the line. Even if we're upset or even if we're not getting what we want, we can still be polite. All right. Second, and I would argue most importantly, table expectations. Right? What do we do when we're at the table? And I would say in the lunchroom in general, we're using inside voices. However, you want to scale that, right? Some people say, well, a level 3 is an outside voice, a level 2 is a loud inside voice, a level 1 is a speaking voice, and a 0 is a whisper. I don't know. However you want to do it, inside voices. I Kids are gonna want to talk. It's very normal. If you were in a cafeteria full of peers, you would want to be talking. It would be loud. It would be boisterous. We're not screaming and yelling, but it's okay if we're talking to each other. There's a group of kids. Inside voices is how I remind kids positively and how I think we should remind kids positively. Use manners and avoid messes. Kids will love to mix up little things on their trays and make gross stuff and because they think it's funny or whatever. We don't make messes, we avoid messes, and we use manners, right? Polite table manners, pleases and thank yous if we're willing to do that. Um, you know, and we clean up after ourselves if we accidentally make a mess, or we at least let somebody know that a mess has been made so that someone can help us to clean it up. If you need to get up, raise your hand. This is, to me, this is the number one thing that will help avoid chaos with kids being all over the place. The simple expectation, if you need to get up, it's okay. Raise your hand so that I can say, yep, go to the bathroom. Go ahead, you can go to the bathroom. So we don't have 5 kids going to the bathroom at once. Or so we don't have 5 kids all running to get in line or get napkins or right. When kids are allowed to just get up willy-nilly, oftentimes you don't know why they're up, and then there's multiple kids up, and then sometimes it's not for the best of reasons, and you don't know, right? Because they didn't raise their hand to ask or tell you why they needed to be up first. I always make the rule of if you need to be up, raise your hand. And I'm not punitive about if they don't ask, but I always remind, hey, you didn't raise your hand. Why are you up? Oh, just make sure that's fine. Get a napkin. Next time, please raise your hand if you need to get up, just so I know why you're up and this doesn't happen again. And then finally, be nice, right? Everybody, right? Be nice. We're nice to the people we're sitting next to. If you're a supervisor, you're nice to the kids that you're supervising. If you're a kid, you're nice to the lunch staff. You're nice to the facilities manager who's your best friend. You're nice to everybody. We're nice when we're in the cafeteria because, it's unstructured time and we all want it to be a pleasant time. So let's be nice. Let's everybody be nice. It starts by modeling that for the kids. Supervision. So some basic rules of supervision when you're in the lunchroom: active monitoring. Be moving around. Don't get stuck in one spot. Don't get stuck talking to one of the people who are working in the lunchroom who might not be supervising the kids with you. If you're on supervision duty, you got to be with the kids. You got to be actively monitoring. You got to be moving around. You got to have good lines of sight. You want to be watching all the kids. You don't want to have your back turned while you're talking to 2 or 3 people. You want to have good lines of sight. Make sure that you can see what's going on in there. Rule of thumb, hot tip, move towards those hot spots. If you know there's kids who sit at a table, sometimes they cause problems and it's annoying. Sometimes we have a tendency to move away from that. Move towards it. Be there. Be present. Be seen singing. Right? Be seen monitoring, supervising. Right? Not in a punitive way, in a very positive way. Just make your presence known and be in and around those hot spots. And PBIS, right? Positive behavior reinforcement. We want to make sure that when we see kids doing awesome things, being nice, being polite, using manners, cleaning messes, woo, we are shouting that out. If you got stickers or high fives or crew cash or whatever it is that you give out to kids, even if it's just compliments, make sure that you are reinforcing positive behavior. Otherwise, you'll find yourself consequencing negative behavior the whole time. And nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants that job, right? It's really important that we're lifting up the positive things that we see when we're supervising, and we are reinforcing those positive behaviors. Okay, cleanup. These are the rules for cleaning up in our cafeteria. 5-minute warning. Right, so when kids have 5 minutes left, just announce, hey, we got 5 minutes. I'm not saying you got to take your last bites and throw your trays out now, but we only got 5 minutes. And then you can start circulating with those trash barrels then, right? Just slowly walking around, helping kids to dump their trays. We're avoiding messes, right? Nobody needs to get up and carry their trash all over the place and drop it all over the place, right? It's much easier to kind of walk around with the barrels with that 5-minute warning. Kids who aren't done, that's fine, right? If your teacher shows up, when you're just finishing up, you can then carefully throw your trash out and get into line or whatever. But circulate with those trash barrels just to mitigate messes being all over the place, kids being out of their seats when they don't need to be, because that's what will cause chaos in a cafeteria or a lunchroom. I do not let students line up before their teachers show up. Kids standing in line causes problems. Fact. Okay? If you're in a cafeteria, you got 50 kids in line, you probably got 10 problems going on at the same time. Don't line them up till the teachers show up or till you're ready to transition. Let me say that, right? When you're ready to leave the cafeteria, that is when you should line up. No need to stand in line before that. We got tables. Sit at the tables. Talk to your friends. Relax. Take a second, right? We got lots of time, so don't line up till your teacher gets here. And then finally, the facilities manager is your best friend. Is the student's best friend. You as a supervisor, kitchen staff, be nice to that person. Be ever so pleasant. They have a hard job, clean up a lot of messes in that cafeteria. They probably have rules and systems for what they want done. Maybe they want the trays stacked up. Maybe they don't want kids using the mops or the brooms or whatever. Maybe they don't want you touching their stuff. Be oh so nice, be oh so pleasant, because that person has such a difficult job, and we want them on our side. We want to make sure that they're happy too. We want to make sure that they have a pleasant working environment, and we're being respectful of them in their working environment as well. All right, so those are some tips on successful cafeteria lunch duty. If you got any questions, comments, if you think I missed anything, hit me up in the comments, or I'm sure you know where to find me. Have fun in there, and maybe you get some free nuggets on the side. You never know. You got to butter up those lunch ladies. We'll see you next time.